A Tamil asylum seeker family has been transported to Christmas Island after being given a reprieve against deportation from Australia until Wednesday. Supporters said they lost contact with the family on Friday night and learned just after 2 a.m. that they had arrived at a detention centre on the island, northwest of Australia. The family's lawyer Karina Ford learned of their transfer after it occurred in an email from the Department of Home Affairs. Priya, her husband Nadesalingam, and their Australian-born children Kopika, 4, and Tharunika, 2, had been held at a Darwin military base. Priya was able to make contact with family and friends when they arrived at Christmas Island. My children have been separated from their world, she said. It believed this makes them the only inmates of the Christmas Island detention center. On Tuesday, Immigration Detention Group Manager Kaileen Zakharov told a Senate inquiry the center was in hot contingency, meaning it was empty, but being guarded. The cost of keeping Christmas Island on standby has reached nearly $23 million, the Canberra Times reported. Ms. Ford said on Saturday morning the move was disappointing, and the added strain on communication with the family was an extra element to the case that we didn't need. She said she had worked with other clients housed at Christmas Island, where there was limited phone access and a very unreliable internet connection. Affidavits are now unable to be signed and witnessed as there are no lawyers working at the center. Ms. Ford has requested personal access to Christmas Island to visit the family. I'm very conscious of the stress that this is causing the family, she said. We have 2 children here, aged 2 and 4, who have already been put through a traumatic experience. A spokeswoman from the Department of Home Affairs would not confirm if the family had been moved to Christmas Island. As this matter is before the courts, it would be inappropriate to comment further, she said. At 5:30 p.m. on Friday, Ms. Ford was told by lawyers representing Home Affairs that it had no intention to separate the family, who were at that stage still in Darwin. Supporters on Friday afternoon had feared the family would be separated when they were brought onto the tarmac of Darwin Airport in the back of a white van. The federal government was earlier blocked from deporting the family until 12 p.m. on Friday, after an emergency injunction was granted on Thursday night by a judge over the phone. Federal Court Justice Mordecai Bromberg then extended the injunction for 2-year-old Tharunika, blocking her removal from Australia until at least 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Tamil Refugee Council spokesman Aranmal Vaganam said the Tamil community in Melbourne was devastated by the development. I'm just begging Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton to read the human rights reports and the words of the United Nations Special Rapporteur. Torture is still being used against the Tamil people, he said. The family's advocates spent hours unsure of the Tamil family's whereabouts after they were taken to the Darwin Airport tarmac on Friday afternoon. Asked if they were being moved. Family friend Vashini said the couple's phones had been taken off them on Friday afternoon. Priya had asked for hers back and was not able to make a call for several hours. Outside court on Friday, Ms. Ford said the injunction for Tharunika wasn't necessarily a win, but said it would be not a good look to separate the toddler from her family. I would hope that common sense prevails in that regard. There is no guarantee under domestic law that the toddler would not be separated from her family, despite United Nations conventions to protect family unity. The family had been taken by Australian Border Force (ABF) officers on Thursday from immigration detention to Melbourne Airport, where dozens of supporters scrambled to protest outside the private hangar in which they were being held. An order from the ABF informed Priya and Nadesalingam that they were to be deported back to Sri Lanka with their 2 Australian-born daughters. But the scheduled deportation was halted, forcing the charter plane which left Melbourne just before 11 p.m. to take the family off the aircraft in Darwin about 3 hours later. Barrister Angel Alexov, representing Tharunika, argued no assessment had been conducted as to whether she was owed protections and told the court that was unreasonable in a legal sense. Christopher Tran, for the government, told the court that Tharunika's application was manifestly hopeless. Justice Bromberg would not be drawn on the merits of her application, but agreed to restrain the government from removing her until 4 p.m. Wednesday to allow Mr. Alexov to prepare the case. It will return to the Federal Circuit Court on Monday morning and the Federal Court on Wednesday.